After applying that 2-stage color to the body, I just set it aside for a couple of days to dry off and be properly dry before I moved on to this. Now, and with this I mean applying and making some templates from tape. Now these templates are made because I want to do some carbon fiber all over the body in a lot of various different shapes, sizes, and on some different pieces. So I just apply some tape, then go around the area with my fingernail, a toothpick, or a Q-tip, and then just cut out the shape I need, remove the excess, and let the shape I want to be in carbon fiber later on just on there until I need to use it. All the templates are now made, so I can start piece by piece pulling it off, making it onto the carbon fiber, cutting it out, and applying the decals. After cutting the shape out, removing the tape and putting that tape aside, I apply some decal set on the area the decal needs to be placed, put the decal in some water to soak it up and make it loose from the backing paper, and then gently apply it and put it in the correct position, and then just finesse it into shape with some more decal set and some decal sol, a hair dryer, some Q-tips, your fingernails, and some imagination. The decal is now pretty much formed all the way to the shape I want it to be, and just needs some tiny little help on the edges inside of the panel lines to be tucked in and looking correct, so it's shaped to that form and not laying over to the next panel and looking like the way it should in my eyes. With that done, just move on to the next piece, the next piece, the next piece, the next piece, until you're all the way done and have everything you want covered. I just want to add one thing and one thing only for now. When applying the decal and trying to form it into place, don't scrub or rub the Q-tip or your finger over it. Just be very gentle, and if you can, just use a Q-tip that is slightly wet and roll the wrinkles out instead of rubbing them out, because if you rub them you can tear the decal, remove some of the shape, and misform the decal. So being very careful and just rolling the Q-tip will save you a lot of stress and make it a lot easier on yourself and the decal. So with that final decal done, just let the decals dry off for one day, and then you're pretty much safe to move on to clear coating. Now, just as the primer and the color, Gravity Colors also sent me out some of their 2K clear coat. Now for this first coat, as I'm doing it over the decals, I will be very careful, just adding a very light mist coat to just grab into the decal and seal it a bit. Then let that first coat dry off for about 10 minutes, move on to the second, a bit thicker coat, and again let that dry off for another 10 minutes and move on to the third and final coat. And in that coat you're gonna finish the entire model off with the clear coat and leave it at that for now. After finishing off this first mist coat, as mentioned, just set it aside for 10 minutes. You can either leave it in the spray booth or on top, whatever you prefer. I just leave it in and wait for 10 minutes, then move on to that second coat. It's a bit thicker, still not a full wet coat, just trying to cover it a bit more, and again seal those decals very carefully. And after this coat, just another 10 minutes and you're good to move on to the third and final coat. With that second coat having had 10 minutes to flash off, you're good to move on to the third and final coat. Now this is the coat you want to have perfect, make it shine all the way and look very, very clean all over, as you probably don't want to add a fourth coat, because with that fourth coat you're going to make everything way too thick, make the clear go on way too thick in all various places, and fill in those panel lines, and that's not what you want. So just be sure you can finish it off in 3 coats and leave it at that. And that's it for this clear coat stage. Now just put the body aside, don't think about it, don't touch it for about 4 to 5 days, and then you're good to move on to detailing it, adding some other components, and whatever you else feel like doing to it. But in the meantime, I suggest to just move on to the interior and chassis pieces and keep your mind on that and just let the body be.